Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a 5-star review. I'm here with the new wide receiver of the Kansas City Chiefs, Johnny Venerable. How you doing?
Put me in, Andy. I'm ready to go.
You look fast today.
What a terrible trade. You've got a Hall of Fame receiver and a team that needs to ramp up their production because the division is a bloodbath. And you don't get 2 first-round picks for Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
That is an awful trade for Kansas City.
I'm a little bit confused as to just why they were shopping him at all. Is there something in the locker room? Is there an investigation that we don't know about that's pending? Is there, discourse with him and Mahomes? Like,
I can tell you right now, first of all, he is the biggest game breaker, I think, since Randy Moss in terms of his elite athleticism and speed in the open field. When the Cardinals, always comes back to the Redbirds. When the Cardinals decided to pay DeAndre Hopkins upwards of 27, 28, next year $30 million per season, that had a trickle-down effect, and we saw it first with the Packers and Davante Adams. Now, the hilarious part of that is Davante said, no, I just don't want to play with Aaron Rodgers. I don't want your money, poverty franchise, Green Bay. The difference with Kansas City here is they have decided not to pay him, and that's why he said, okay, then go ahead and trade me. I think from a betting standpoint, Shane, I look at Kansas City now. I mean, we saw last year Mahomes had kind of an up and down season. We're going to see, I think, 2 teams overtake them. I really do believe the Chargers will be better next year and the Broncos. And then, goodness, the Raiders are very competent now.
Yeah.
They can tout their draft picks. They can tout their money. You know who some of the marquee offensive draft picks have been in recent years for Kansas City? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, huge bust. McCole Hardman, huge bust. So unless they can flip one of these early picks or ones, by the way, that one that they got from Miami, it's in the late 20s. It's not a high first-round pick. Unless they can go out and get a DK Metcalf or somebody like that, I would take the Chiefs over/under win total, and I would hammer the under right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
You have to think now, too, with Mahomes' contract kicking in, the massive $500 million contract. It's kicking in this year. That has something to do with it for sure. Maybe they need help elsewhere. But from a pure scheme standpoint, Johnny, it's a little strange because this kind of happens with the Chiefs every year. They kind of slow down at the start of the season because everyone does what worked in the postseason, and they figure it out like 8-9 games in. This time, they figured out what it was, and they stopped playing the cover 2. And when you play the cover 2 against the Chiefs, you're going to get burned over top. So what the Bengals did is they switched away and played that single high safety, brought somebody down in the box, and kind of messed everything up. And Mahomes couldn't do anything because he couldn't get everything short, which he was so used to doing. Now he's going to need to rely on everything in front of him, everything's short. And he doesn't have that over-the-top burner speed anymore. I mean, you have Mecole Hardman and Byron Pringle. You still have Travis Kelce, but
Pringle signed with the Bears. He's gone.
Oh, wow. Like, what are you even doing? Like,
they got Juju to replace him, but that's fire in its own right.
But that's underneath stuff. That's nothing. He's not a vertical threat. It doesn't really make sense. It's like they're like for sure going like with Olave, or they have somebody that they're going to be able to trade for. I just don't understand it. It's a little strange.
Tyreek Hill is a Hall of Fame player who plays his best games in the postseason. What he's done, he is a hired mercenary. When the calendar rolls January and February, you can't replace a talent like that. Now I say that, Shane, knowing full well he will go to Miami and underperform because of 2 things. He doesn't have Andy Reid and he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes. He's got Pop Gun Tua and our boy Mike McDaniel, who we do like, but I feel like neither team benefits from this. Neither party benefits from this over time. I think the marriage of Mahomes and Tyreek Hill was a beautiful thing, and now it's dead and buried. And I think it will take a couple years and a couple drafts and off seasons for the Chiefs to be able to rebound offensively. It's not going to happen in 2022.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Chiefs make a deep playoff run just because of Mahomes, but it is a little strange. But from the Dolphins' perspective, I do just want to talk about it from strictly the Dolphins' perspective.
Okay.
Tua got some help up front with Teron Armstead, and they're building around him a little bit more. His receivers, you're assuming, are healthy this year, and now you add Tyreek Hill. Do you think he has a breakout year?
No, because I think if you're not breaking out with Mahomes, I mean, he had about 1,200 yards last year. The
No.
beauty of
Tua.
Oh, no, never. Popgun Tua, and then you saw Teddy Bridgewater's press conference the other day with Miami basically saying that he is not the backup, like
Yeah.
basically confirming they're going to have an open competition. This will be the last year too. What we're seeing with Baker Mayfield right now will happen to Tua this time next year. I
I
like Mike.
disagree. I think Tua takes this team by the reins. I think
I
this is
like
his year. I
I
really
like Mike
do.
McDaniel. I approached him at the NFL Combine as one fellow bro to another. I'm going to put my glasses on right now because Mike McDaniel and I are essentially the same person. He had his backpack on. He had a hoodie. Hell yeah, Mike McDaniel. I hope you have success. You are not going to have success with Popgun Tua. They will be in a market next year for a disgruntled veteran that can come in and take the reins. Tua is too limited. And somebody made a really good point today that I think bears repeating. So much of what Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill did was off script
Yeah.
and breaking tackles and moving on the run, Kyler Murray-esque, right, with Hopkins and Rondell Moore. Tua doesn't offer that. Tua's mobility, which is why they're having to shore up this offensive line, is basically average, maybe a little bit above average. He does not have, of course, the same playmaking ability. The arm strength is not there, the talent. And I would be frustrated too if I'm somebody like Jalen Waddle. It's like Jalen Waddle needs to be with a plus quarterback. I know that a lot of people are going to be buying to a stock, not in that division with Belichick and Sean McDermott. Robert Saleh's second year, the defense will be better in New York. No chance.
All right. Well, speaking of divisions, last thing I want to talk about before we move on. Right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can get the Chiefs still as the favorite to win the AFC West at plus 165.
No, never.
Who's your value pick in here? The Broncos at plus 220, Chargers at 275, or the Raiders at plus 700?
Broncos at plus 220.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, and you know this as a closet Seahawk fan, is the ultimate winner, is the ultimate competitor. This guy not last year, but 2 years ago, won the NFC West. They would have made the playoffs last year in the NFC West had he not gotten hurt. He's an elite human being. He will gravitas that locker room. He will make star players out of Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. We don't know if their new coach is any good, but I can tell you right now, Russell Wilson is the ultimate elixir. I think the Chargers and the Raiders are going to be very confident. But if you on paper right now, I think Russell Wilson is the difference maker with Kansas City trending down and question marks at head coach for everybody else. So I give me Russell Wilson.
For sure. Well, if you want to bet on any of that or any of the stuff we're about to touch on, you can do that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app or at college basketball, because right now you can bet just $5 on any college basketball team in the tournament to win their game. And if they do, you get $200 in free bets this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app when you use that promo code PHNX. I know, Johnny, you're a little worried about this U of A game. What you think U of A just rolls, or what do you think happens?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I think they roll Houston, and then I think they roll Villanova comfortably. I think, again, the TCU matchup, we have seen great determination dating back to the Pac-12 tournament with U of A. They've been one of the most complete teams in the country. They have overcome injuries. I am not buying Houston at all. I think Houston semi-fraudulent. They got a really easy break because Illinois is even more of a bigger tournament fraud. The Fighting Illini, that is. And that game was relatively competitive up until late in the second half. I think the U of A Wildcats have an easy path to the Final Four. I think we see them get there as one of the predominant favorites to win the whole thing.
Well, you can bet just $5 on them. Get $200 in free bets when you sign up using that promo code PHNX this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Johnny, we had a big stinker of a day again yesterday. We'll go through them really fast. We'll go
Do we have to?
your
Okay.
picks really quick. Yeah, we will. Just really fast. Clippers
What the hell,
didn't cover.
Clippers?
Bucks covered. Warriors are big stinkers. And that's about all we need to say about that. You can go to mine now. Clippers didn't cover. The Atlanta game was an easy over 225 with an RJ Barrett dunk at the end that didn't matter. And then the Warriors did not win the first half, which was just disgusting.
What's going on with them?
They don't have perimeter defense for some reason, even with Draymond back. And then Jordan Poole, when he's not splashing around, as my buddy put it yesterday, he's not really doing much. And yeah, that team is just disgusting. Yeah, go for it.
It will be a monumental disappointment if the Phoenix Suns are not in the NBA Finals again this year. Monumental. given the fact that Golden State appears to be about a year away with all the injuries and overcoming, Clay trying to come back. I mean, they feel a year off. A lot of people were buying them early in the second half of the season. Now the Suns are the clear prohibitive favorite to make it to the NBA Finals. Now let's see if they can overcome a Brooklyn or a Milwaukee that would presumably have equal star power. But the Western Conference, like, come on now, Phoenix Suns. This should be wrapped up. Most of these series should be wrapped up in 5 or 6 games max.
For sure. We'll get to our props really fast from yesterday as well. I was a victim of the blowout. Both of these guys on track to do it, and then the game just got out of hand. Neither of them really played in the fourth quarter. I think Giannis finished with like 42 in 3 quarters, so just gross. And then Johnny, I don't remember what yours was. Oh yeah, Clay did not do that. Clay was he could have, but he didn't. All right. Well, the past is the past. Today is a new day. Johnny, what do you like tonight?
It's a new day. Yes, it is. I am all over some favorites today, some tasty favorites of some true contenders. The Celtics have been one of the hotter teams in the NBA. I like them at -5. I think they win by double digits because they have a phenomenal tandem at guard that I'm going to talk about here in a second. But I think they roll the Utah Jazz off a big victory. And yeah, I think they keep it going. The Nets get Kyrie Irving tonight at the Grizzlies. Woo! You know what that means. Cha-ching, cha-ching. The Nets are major players when Kyrie Irving plays. Will he get his vaccine? Will we see the lift of the mandate? It's one of my favorite topics of this entire season. Phoenix Suns at the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight with a chance to get their 59th victory this season as they inch closer, I believe, to a franchise record in wins in a season. Yep. Hammer that -1 anytime. You can get almost even money on the Suns. You do it, and you do it fast.
Yeah, we will most likely see Chris Paul tomorrow or Sunday, I believe. So it's getting really exciting. We'll get into my picks. Kind of similar ideas here. Nope, those are yesterday's.
No.
Well, Johnny, why don't you give the people your props while I figure this out?
Let's do it. So you know what I'm going with. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, plus 650. I could just see this continual coming out party for the Celtics. These two players that really the Celtics have wisely held on to. Remember all the talk about trade Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown for Anthony Davis. They get a lot of shit that does their front office with Danny Ainge. They have doubled down, and I think these two young stars are going to roll tonight against the Jazz. Jazz fine defensively, but I think the Celtics smack them around on the East Coast. And then Lonzo Ball. It was been a quiet second half for the Ball family. I think that changes tonight. I love me some Lonzo over 24.5 points. Gimme plus 290. Yes, sir.
Love it. Going with some Flyers. Mine are these are my picks for tonight. First half, we love the 76ers here on the PHNX Daily Bet Show. The Sixers are playing the fraudulent Lakers in LA. I think they run away with this game at halftime. The Lakers might try hard and cover at the end, but I like the Sixers to win the first half by at least 10 points. And then this is a little gross, but I like the Rockets to cover the 10 points against the Mavericks. Big fan of betting on the Rockets to cover because they usually do it late backdoor. But I'm taking that plus 10. And then I'll obviously like the Suns -1 tonight against the Timberwolves. I don't really see why this is 1 point. The Timberwolves are playing really good basketball, but the Suns are the best team in the NBA. It's not even close. And then before we get out of here, I have a couple props for you tonight as well. DA over 17.5 points in that game.
Talking.
Dominates Karl Anthony Towns. Get him out of here. And then Kyrie Irving, our boy, 26.5 points. He might go for 50 again tonight. He might hit this at halftime. So give me that. Take it to the bank. Let's get after it tonight. Johnny, anything else before we get out of here?
PHNX Cardinals today, not live, but a podcast dropping later today with my boy, Shane Diefenlock. What a special treat. We get to double down on Bets Daily and NFL talk. Shane's hopping on. We're talking all things Arizona Cardinal football. We're going to talk about the ever-changing landscape of the NFC to the AFC, which you absolutely love to see. Are the Cardinals a playoff team as it stands today? What free agents should they prioritize? What the hell's going on with the AFC West? All that and more today at PHNX Cardinals. We will be dropping that audio-only podcast later tonight. And you should get this Cardinal t-shirt from the PHNX merchandise locker and that that Coyote shirt right now. Buy one, get one half off. Is that what's happening? We love those deals at gophnx.com, the PHNX merchandise locker. You can get that shirt for free if you become a member for the year, just under $60. You want to dip your toe in, check out my most recent article on the Cardinals adding Nick Vigil. God, why did they do that? I'm going to tell you why. 80 cents for the first month, or 50 cents for the first month, $8.99 for the subsequent months. But you don't want to do that. Just become a member. It's going to be so much fun. Hang out with us, member Discord, so much quality content coming your way. The fall of the NHL trade deadline with our guy, Craig Morgan and company. So much good stuff. All you can find, gophnx.com.
Yep. Pleasure as always, Johnny. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. And remember, peace, love, and PRA.